Who was your favourite famous athlete that you have interviewed and why?
I think my favourite was probably Berbatov.
Take off your glasses when you hear someone, a player, with a better first touch than you. Are you ready?
He was great. He was so funny. He made me laugh. And then I made him laugh. And so, we had that kind of rapport. And the piece that we made ended up being really good and really successful. So I would say him.
What are the positive and negative aspects of your job?
The positive aspects would be I get to travel up and down the country to watch football games, which is like a dream. But it's also a little bit of the negative as well because, most of the games are on the weekend. So I don't really get to see my friends much on the weekend, but there's ways around it. And so, yeah, it's a pro and it's a con.
What did you want to do when you were younger?
That's such a good question. When I was younger, there wasn't anything I didn't want to do. Let's just put it that way. At one point, I wanted to be a lawyer. Another point, I wanted to be a mathematician. I was this close to being a teacher. But I knew whatever it is that I was going to do, I would have to love. I knew I couldn't have a job that, would just make me money or something. I knew it was a job that I needed to really like and enjoy. So I don't have a direct answer for you, I'm sorry, but I would say I knew that I wanted to have a job that was filled with passion.
What are some of the most famous footballers you have met?
I met quite a few. So over the summer I met pretty much the entire Arsenal team, which is insane. I've also met pretty much all of Spurs. And I know I should, sorry. I love Son. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. I know I'm an Arsenal fan. I love that man.
Agreed.
What's your favourite type of video to film?
Ooh, my favourite type of video to film is probably definitely fan-led videos. So ones where we're kind of following a fan and talking about their experience, being a football fan for whatever team it is that they support.
At what point did you know you wanted to become the job that you have right now?
Ooh, that's a good one. I knew the minute I joined the Premier League. So I started off at the Premier League as a production assistant, and I think that was a great grounding for me to then become an assistant producer. But I think when I started as a production assistant and I was seeing what the APs were doing, I was like, that's what I want to do. So that was maybe 2.5 years ago. Yeah, and also I didn't know that this job even existed until about 3 years ago. So yeah, I'd say about then.
What was the best performing piece of media you've made?
I think it is the piece that I did with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman for the release of Deadpool Wolverine, the movie that came out last year. It was insane, but insanely fun. So yeah, that's probably my best performing work.
How do you make a successful interview?
I would say research is key. When you first enter the room to interview somebody, maybe have a little something that say you noticed on Instagram that they've been on holiday recently, and then you could be I saw that you went to Hawaii, I'd love to go, do you have any tips? Just kind of open them up a bit, warm them up. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the topic that you're going to discuss with them, but yeah, just something to level the playing field a bit. If they're feeling a bit nervous, you might be feeling a bit nervous, just so you have some common ground.
What questions do you not ask during an interview?
Anything super personal, anything that you wouldn't want to be asked in an interview or hasn't already been cleared, because usually you'd give questions before just to kind of sense check, and so if you're then asking a question that hasn't been cleared by them or their team, then that's not great practice. So yeah, I'd probably say that.
What does a typical day look like for you at work?
What an awesome question. And I say that because it could literally be anywhere from interviewing a player to being at a game and filming at a game to filming with kids from a local club or something like that. But I suppose the most typical day would be me editing content for social media.
If you could work with anybody, who would you want to work with?
I'd say maybe someone like Stormzy or something, just because I really like the work that he does with young people and trying to help young people and getting people in the door, and I think that's really important it's a value. It's something that I really value. So I'd probably say someone like him.
What has been your hardest piece to edit and film?
One of the hardest pieces that I did was I did an edit for it was like the best African goals for AFCON like last show. I found that really difficult. There was just a lot of footage. I got a lot of feedback, and it was just it was going a bit topsy-turvy. But we went live and it was fine, and I think I got a lot of learnings from it. Especially when it comes to like organizing like my content and like naming things correctly, just so I don't get confused. But yeah, that's probably one of the hardest ones that I've done, yeah.
What do you most enjoy about your job?
I enjoy it when it's not strictly football focused. Like I like trying to find the connection between football and like culture. And so that's like the sweet spot for me, basically. So when I've managed to like crack something and solve that problem of like how can we incorporate this cultural thing with football, that's always something that makes me really happy.